Have you ever asked yourself what will happen to the properties that you are actually building or buying, acquiring on a regular basis? Let's say, for instance, you are one of those people who have got properties in their names or even in companies that you own directly as a natural person, even if it's through a trust. Now, ask yourself this question. You have got a couple of properties. Have you asked yourself what will happen to these properties upon your death? You know why I'm asking this question? I'm asking this question because most of us are acquiring and buying properties, but we never really ask ourselves who's going to run this property portfolio. Because as a business, who am I training to take over and run this business? The person such as my kids that I'm saying they're going to inherit my properties, are they capable of being property investors? What am I doing to enable them to be property investors? Are they interested in being property investors? Because they might not be interested in being a property investor. Not everyone is interested in business, in being a property investor. The same way, not everyone wants to be a doctor. Not everyone wants to be a lawyer. Not everyone wants to be a politician. Now, as part of your estate plan, have you had a conversation with those beneficiaries to say, who is interested in running this? Who's want to learn? Who are you teaching? Now, let's say you don't have anyone to run these properties. Would you agree with me that potentially you stand a risk that these properties might not actually be held for long term? Have you been in a scenario where you've seen properties that have been abandoned? How many of these properties that we see in the inner cities being hijacked? Some of these properties is because the original owners passed on, but then the beneficiaries are not interested in running these properties. They're not interested dealing with municipalities. They're not interested in having to deal with tenants and collecting renters on a regular basis. They are out there doing their own, and successfully so, doing their own ventures out there. They could be traveling the world, being powerful in their own respective professions. That is one of the things that you need to be important and understand that when you're coming up with your estate plan, because that's why I always emphasize that when you come to me and want to do an estate plan, you must be as flexible as possible. You know, in one of the webinars that I attended where they were talking about the ultra high net worth individuals, and they were talking about the demographics of the next generation that is going to inherit the billions, right? What they were saying is that the appetite of this next generation is those people who have got appetite for high risk investments. Yes, they enjoy, being they go for this adrenaline of venturing into high risk investment that some of the private equity guys players get into, right? What if your kids are one of those who are interested to invest with the likes of private equity? They're not interested in these conservative investments. How many of us have seen our parents doing certain type of investment that you and I consider them like, no, but why should I be part of that type of investment? I remember my father used to love putting money in a fixed deposit savings account and all these things. I knew the fixed deposit when I was young because my father used to love them. But when I sit here, I'm like, why should I be putting my money in a fixed deposit? I can easily take this money and put it in a property. That is my own way of generating money. He generating money through fixed deposit. I'm seeing it as a waste. I'm seeing the next frontier of investing as being a property. But does not mean my kids will then see the same way. They could also look at me like, why is this man putting money in a property? I want to invest with so and so. There's a private equity fund that they are putting together. I'm going to be one of the first people to invest in this venture. Therefore, we're going to probably, I don't know, this money can be 100 times returns. That is open-minded that you need to be. That those properties, they might not be what you think they are. And that's why I always say, understand why you're in property is to make money. That's why it's so important to even make money from the day you buy. That's why it's so important to generate money in a positive cash flow, because that's when you make real money. So that even when these properties, we dispose them at certain stage, you've made your money. And then even when you passed on, these kids can decide to actually sell these properties. We can consolidate this money, put it in a trust, and then this trust can be exposed into things like private equity, where this money can be reinvested. I'm giving you a private equity as an example to say your kids could be interested in that. What if they're interested to invest in venture capitals? What if they want to do share trading? And then they put this money with fund managers. That is how some people, the next generation, could be potentially looking into generating money in that way. So the key here is that be flexible in your estate plan, be open-minded, engage those who are going to be impacted by this estate plan that you're undergoing. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. Let's have a conversation on the issues of estate planning and retirement planning. Yes, my name is Shilibwe Mutiba. If you want to book those free estate planning consultation with myself, use the link on my profile. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. It's on a first come, first serve. Of course, I've got limited. It's not like I'm like literally doing all free consultation. I just have limited spaces. So if you're more than welcome, you can reach out, first come, first serve. If it's overbooked, it's overbooked. So reach out and use the link and book. Let's have a conversation on how you're going to preserve the wealth that you are creating. Okay? Good luck.